All right, Sacramento police are investigating a deadly shooting at the light rail station on 65th Street. We're going to go back out to Leanne Danier. She is live at the scene. Leanne, we understand you've got new information.
Yeah, just coming in within the last couple of seconds. I was just putting that update away before we came back on the air. So we have a couple of new details confirmed from the police department. They have been able to tell us that at least one person was shot, and just within the last couple of seconds, the police department did confirm that a person is dead. I want to show you what we're seeing here at the University and 65th Street light rail station. You can see it's taped off at this point. And since we last saw you a few minutes ago, a privacy screen right there next to the bus, or excuse me, the train, has just gone up. So that's the big notable difference from what we're seeing out here. Across the street, we can see there are a number of people who are gathered. We can see law enforcement, police officers, sort of throughout the entire area at this point. Of course, a busy area of Sacramento for lots of people who work, live, go to school in this general area. Of course, a spot that most people in our community do know, near 50. So this is what we're seeing right now. Again, police have just within the last couple of minutes confirmed that we know that a person has died. Police also telling us that they don't have any suspect information or anybody in custody at this point, really reinforcing that this is an unfolding event, and they'll try to get us more information as soon as they can. In Sacramento, Leanne Danier, KCRA 3 News.
All right, definitely a tense and scary situation. Leanne, thank you.
And in the meantime, we're taking live pictures from Livecopter 3 over the Campus Commons area, which is not far from where that shooting happened. And you can see officers driving through this residential neighborhood, this part of Campus Commons, which is just on the other side of Sacramento State. So 65th and Folsom Boulevard, very close to Sacramento State. This not far from that, just on the other side of the river. So police are there because they believe that carjacking suspect may be in this residential neighborhood. It's a very quiet area, and you can see just how fast that officer is driving through this residential area. This is not an area that gets a lot of traffic. As we zoom out, you'll be able to see how close we are to the river. Again, it's just on the other side of the river, on the other side of Sacramento State's campus, on the other side of the Guy West Bridge. So there's University Avenue, which is really close to Fair Oaks Boulevard and Howe Avenue. But again, this all started at the next exit down from Highway 50, which is 65th Street and Folsom Boulevard, really just less than maybe a mile away from there. So this is why we're over this right now, because this frantic search for the suspect who we believe there was a carjacking at that light rail station, but also witnesses say they heard about 10 gunshots. We also know that this was some sort of a deadly situation. We don't know how it became deadly. Right. We just know it's being called a deadly situation. Also want to point out Phoebe Hearst School, which is again down the street from 65th Street. It's at 59th and Folsom Boulevard. Phoebe Hearst School is on lockdown. Their after school program is in session, but the kids are not being released right now. So if you're a parent with your child in that after school program at Phoebe Hearst, don't go there just yet because they're not being released, and you would just add to the congestion of the area there along Folsom Boulevard, which is already very congested this time of day. So they're just looking for this suspect. They believe the suspect's in this area.
Yeah, and speaking of that suspect, witnesses said that he was wearing a red shirt, a baseball cap, and a backpack. Again, Lisa mentioned 10 shots were heard that were fired. And also, Sacramento Regional Transit saying the University 65th Street station is now closed. They're providing some updates. The buses that serve University 65th Street have been moved to Power Inn Station if you are trying to use the bus. But as you can see, just by the activity from law enforcement and how quickly they are moving, of course, law enforcement asking people to avoid this area if you can, stay off the roads, let them do their search as they are trying to locate this suspect, who again is still on the loose. Scary situation, reported shooting, and this all. When did this all unfold? What hour was the shooting first reported?
I'm not sure exactly when it was first reported. We started hearing, I believe, some scanner traffic. That was possibly about 3:30, 3:25 in the newsroom. And I heard them say 65th and the light rail station at 65th and Folsom. So I immediately called Uriah Faber, who owns Ultimate Fitness there right on the corner across from the light rail station. I talked to Uriah Faber and Ryan Faber, his brother, who runs that gym. And we were told that there were witness accounts that people heard the 10 shots fired. People saw the carjacking, we know there's a person
Yes.
who was carjacked. We'll be talking to them a little bit later. And now we know that it was a deadly situation, whatever happened at that light rail station.
How this is all connected, was somebody shot, did somebody die from bullets? A lot of questions that we don't have answers to at this point, as law enforcement is solely focused on capturing this suspect and not exactly getting information.
Yeah, and so where you're looking at right now along University Avenue, right across the American River from Sacramento State, it's very close to where this all originally started, because Folsom Boulevard links the two in the back area there of Sacramento State. So that's why we have Live Copter 3 over the scene. It looks like there is law enforcement helicopter over the scene. There's that Guy West Bridge, the pedestrian bridge that I was mentioning, and it would not take a lot of time to get from where that initial shooting happened to this location that you're looking at right now. I believe that Sacramento State, and I know this actually for a fact, is on spring break right now.
Okay.
So we're not going to see the typical traffic that we would see at Sacramento State.
That's good news.
Yeah, normally you would see a line of cars there at the top of your screen.
Of course,
there, a
rush
line
hour.
of cars. Well, that's Sacramento State. It's the rush hour for the students leaving the
Right.
campus, because it's a commuter campus, and you don't see hardly any cars there. And you can see that's a big parking lot. It's usually packed with students, but because it's spring break, it's pretty desolate right now.
Which is good news for this
Yeah.
investigation, but it's still busy enough. This is a scary situation. People definitely live around here. There's definitely homes around here, and you can see clusters of cars that are not law enforcement vehicles. There's still people out in this community, and when you're talking about a reported carjacking and a shooting, that's a scary situation, because if this suspect is as desperate as it seems that they are, that would obviously be a concern for anybody that is out in this area. But as you can see, they're throwing everything they have at this right now. Obviously, all hands are on deck trying to find this suspect, and we're going to continue to follow this. We're going to give you those live updates as soon as we get them. Again, law enforcement focused on the search and not exactly on getting information out to us, but we are doing all the digging that we can. We've got a team there on the scene trying to get information as well. We're zooming in on this vehicle of concern right now. I'm going to call it that because there's a number of law enforcement personnel around here, and you can see this car, whoever was inside of it, definitely left in a flurry, and/or law enforcement is searching this vehicle. So I'm not sure how this is connected to all of this. We do know there was a carjacking of some sort and a shooting. So was this car involved somehow? We don't exactly know.
You're better with cars than I am, so it's obviously a four-door sedan. What kind of car? Did you see what kind of car that is?
If we could zoom in again, if Live Copter 3 is listening, zoom in on that vehicle. We can get that model right there. It looks to me,
Is that a BMW?
it looks kind of like a BMW.
Yeah. All
Could be
right.
a-
Well, we'll continue to follow this. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.